Jackie. Yeah, there we are. I can see you just fine. So I like to go on a minute early because it takes a minute or two for people to connect. So we're like, I don't know,
yeah,
what, a minute?
To build your feed.
Yeah, right. So we're like a minute or two early. So we will give a little time for that to happen. Has it started to pop up yet on the regular group? No.
Yes, it is now.
Oh, it is. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, there's Mai. Hey, Mai. How are you? Oh, good. Okay, so it's nice when you can kind of see it, although I can't see without glasses.
No,
So,
I have to put mine on too.
let me get the little light. Uh-oh.
No, you look okay.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
All right, nice. So we'll just chit-chat for a minute and give some folks some time to join. We are opening the windows in here because it is hot.
Closing.
But, of course, every truck has decided to drive by, so that's not helping us very much at the moment. So how are you today?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Great.
Crazy.
Had fun at Easter.
Yeah, we did. How about you?
It was good. We celebrated some birthdays, too. Ben is 13 on Monday.
Oh, my God.
13, I know. And Ryan is 11 on Thursday. So we did combination Easter birthday. Yeah. So.
I saw your photo of Ben on Facebook with the baseball. Red
Yes,
Sox
he's
fan.
he's super offended. So
Yeah.
he's gonna, I don't know. I guess you gotta give him a little credit for being so dedicated. Is that Michelle? Hey, Michelle. Good to see you. We miss you too. Are you still out here pouring wine from time to time? There's Shelly. Okay, good. All right, good. So we'll give just a minute or two. Looks like we've got quite a few are starting to join in. There's Robin and Michelle and hi.
Hey, Robin.
So we're also going to do a little giveaway today. So anybody who joins us live, make sure that you comment so that we can enter you in the drawing. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So what we want to talk about today, Jackie and I are big believers in doing business by referral and in building relationships. And so one of the things that has been really helpful for us is note writing. And so we're both big note writers, big fans of note writing. Hey, Marcia. So we thought we would just do a quick little chat. When Kara McDonald and I did this Facebook Live a while ago on social media, that really works. Hey, Chelsea. So we thought that this would be a good thing to do to talk about note writing. So, Jackie, do you want to share a little bit of your thoughts on why we write notes?
Well, I mean, for me personally, and I'll just kind of lead in with this, many years ago I was introduced to Brian Buffini, which I know a lot of you know, and so Karen and I have been involved together on lots of Brian's seminars and retreats and things that we've gone to, and so I've actually gone out to San Diego. I did coaching for a while, and everything that Brian taught personally resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I know that different people have different, types of style that they like to use and different trainers as well. But Brian really resonated with me because I like that warm, fuzzy kind of personal touch of things. And so probably the easiest thing that Brian shared was writing a personal note.
Right.
And sometimes it seems like it's hard to do, but it's really not.
It's really not.
The more you get into doing it, the more you realize that it's an easy thing to do. It's really impactful. It makes a huge difference.
Yes.
As you know, because I get your notes.
Yes. So you do get my notes.
I do get your notes.
Yeah, I learned that many years ago when I first started in the business. Sherry Wilson introduced me to Brian Buffini, and that's really how we got into the note writing. And so, one fun story: Kelly Northcott. I just saw that she joined the group. This is her one of her favorite topics. Kelly has a business called My Heart Beats. And she does these beautiful note cards, and our giveaway today is a set or a gift certificate to Kelly's website. But interesting story, I listed Kelly's home for her when they moved to the West Coast, and I asked her why she chose to work with me. I knew that she had interviewed quite a few realtors, and she said it was because I was the only person who sent her a note. I had met her previously through scrapbooking. She used to do scrapbooking classes, and she did a class for me, and I wrote her a thank you note, and so that really made an impact. And so you just never know what writing that note, it's such a simple thing. So few people do it. When you are going through your mail at the end of the day and you're flipping through and you're getting the bills and the junk mail, what stands out at you? And what stands out is the notes or the cards. And so those are the things that we tend to gravitate to and open first. And so it really make someone's day. You had said that?
I believe that personally, because think about how you feel when you open the mail and you get that personal note. Do you stop and read it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Do you ever not read a personal note that somebody's handwritten to you?
No.
So it does. It really sets you apart from your competition. I've had situations in the lending business where people are shopping around for a lender, and not always is it rate. They're trying to decide who they think they're going to best fit with and who's going to complement them in terms of taking care of the transaction.
Right.
So oftentimes a note is something that no one else does, and they'll get that note, and it helps to solidify the relationship, because I think it just takes it one step further to show that little personal side of you and that caring side of you, that it's not just all about business, it's really about how you feel.
That's right.
About your business, how you feel about the person.
That's right.
One of the things you and I talked about too is that sometimes, as we know in our business too, we can have some tension in a transaction or something can be a little stressful.
Right.
And it's really easy just to jot a personal note to that person. Let them know you're thinking about them. Let them know that you heard what they said. Validate some of their feelings in a personal note. And that can just change people right away. It can change the whole situation. And so
it does, completely. Before we talk a minute more, I'll give a little second of housekeeping, since a bunch of us have jumped in now. So I do have, Melissa is our producer behind the scenes, and so she is monitoring. And so if you have any questions, you can type your questions in the comments, and Melissa will feed those to us before we end. We're just going to do a quick little chat. And also make sure that you comment, because those of you who are joining us live, we will be able to do a drawing, and we have a gift certificate to My Heartbeats online, and where you can get their real estate theme notes. They have lots of really great notes and wine bottle labels and all sorts of things. So we'll share that too. So you know, it's interesting what you were saying, Jackie, how it can change the tone and the relationship. I started actually integrating writing notes to agents that I'm in transactions with about 2 years ago, because I went to a broker's open and I met an agent I'd never met before. He was hosting it. It was very sweet. He did a money drawing. I think I won like $10 or something, and so I sent him a little note, you know, not really thinking about it, just, you know, nice to meet you. And he was so touched, and he called me and said, you know, nobody ever writes me a note. I never get a note. And he was like so floored. And so that really kind of changed my thought process on that too, that it's not just to our clients or people that we're prospecting to, it's people that we're in transactions with. So part of my process is I write notes to agents that the buyer's agent who brings in a contract on my listing, or the listing agent for a property that my buyer has written on. So it really just helps to really solidify those relationships. So another thing we want to talk about is reasons to write notes. We talked about this at our team meeting this morning, when we were talking about, we're doing a little incentive for, based on Buffini's calls, notes, and pop buys. And so what are some reasons to write notes? And so one of the things that we were talking about is, you know, tie it all together. Make all your tasks work together. So when you meet someone for the first time, whether it's a buyer that you're meeting or it's a listing appointment, always follow up that appointment with a note, just a handwritten note. It was so great to meet you. I'm looking forward to working with you. Always include your business card. That's one way. When you run into someone that you haven't seen in a while, whether it's a friend or a past client or a colleague, it's a great excuse to write a little note and just say, you know, great to see you. One of our things that we like to write notes for a lot is, I was in your neighborhood and I thought of you. So when you are wanting to follow up with past clients, that's a great thing to do. Christy was saying this morning it's her favorite. You're driving around. If you've been selling real estate for a while, you probably know somebody in most of the neighborhoods. Send them a little note. I drove past the house. Your flowers are beautiful. You know, I was just thinking of you and wanted you to know. What are some of your favorite
well, I'm
ideas?
just looking down here, service providers. So people that you do business with, some of your home inspectors, termite, settlement agents. I'm going to tell a quick story.
Yeah.
Okay, because I also think you can use your personal notes to help, obviously, market your business too. And a couple weeks ago, I was having coffee with a realtor friend in a restaurant, and she was actually running late for a few minutes. And so when she popped in, I noticed that the server greeted her and said, "Hey, how you doing? You know, so good to see you." And so we were sitting there, and we were talking about, you know, ways to generate business. And one of the things that, you know, she kind of brought up, we were talking about lead generation and how people get their leads, and cold leads versus warm leads, and all kinds of different ways that you can do that. But one of the things we started talking about was some of the Buffini practices,
Right.
and so we started talking about Popeyes and writing notes and things like that. And she's a big proponent of that, but as with everyone, you get busy, right? And so she said, well, I run out of maybe people to write notes too.
Yes.
And you can look around you at any time during the day and try to figure out, wow, there's a person I can write a note to. So I said to her, well, what about the server? This was kind of a random thing. What about the server here in the restaurant? She acknowledged you. How long has she been here? And she said, oh, she's been here since they opened. And she said, I'm in here all the time. So I said, well, why don't you get her name, jot her a note?
Yes.
I said, what do you think would happen to her if you sent her a note? Here, she's a server in the restaurant. It's
Probably
a
made her
random
day.
person. You could change her day.
Right.
You never know what somebody's story is. You never know what's going on in somebody's world, right? And so a quick little handwritten note, how much I appreciate the service you provide to me. I'm
Right.
in the service industry as a realtor, so, it means a lot to me when I can come in and sit down and relax, and you always make me feel special, whatever. And I said, then think about what that might do down the road as you build that relationship with the server here in
That's
the
right.
restaurant. How about turning that server eventually into an advocate for you?
Yep.
So when you come in, or they're there all the time, they're chatting people up, they're talking all the time, and somebody wants to buy a house, who's the server going to say, hey, I know the perfect realtor?
That's right.
Because she's warm, she's caring, she took time to, think of me. She's just a very special person, and you'll want to definitely check with her while you're interviewing other agents, or whatever the spiel might be. But I just thought, you never know who you can turn into your sphere very quickly,
Yes.
just by a circumstance,
That's right.
and taking advantage of an opportunity that we don't always think about.
That's right. That's such a great point, and it's that little extra touch. We talk about that in our business. It's going that little extra step, doing that little extra thing. That's really going to. You never know where that's going to take you in your business. Whether that's going to be the thing that gets you the listing, whether that's going to be the thing that really endears you to your client and makes them want to refer you over and over. One of the things that someone that I have often written notes to is when I've gone on a listing appointment and I don't get the listing, I always send a note, because what I have found a lot of times is, even though for whatever reason they may not choose to work with me at the onset, sometimes those relationships don't work out, and they may realize they made a mistake, or things didn't work out for whatever reason with the agent that they chose. And I don't want them to feel awkward to reach back out to me again. So writing that note and saying, gee, I so enjoyed meeting you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I wish you so very well. And if things don't work out, please don't hesitate to reach back out to me. And that has worked. I've gotten listings back again. So you never know where that little extra step is going to take you.
I think friends and family too, right? So many times, and I think for me too as a lender, you'll hear where, oh, my family doesn't always think about me as a real estate agent or as a mortgage lender.
Yes.
And so it's easy for them to sometimes forget that, because
Right.
we're not always in their face, if you would. So,
That's right.
opportunities where you can send a little written note and you share an experience and thinking of you, blah, blah, blah. Facebook.
Yeah.
A lot of us are on Facebook.
Yes.
People make announcements on Facebook. There's all
Yes.
kinds of life events that happen even in your own family.
Yes.
A picture goes up, somebody just, did something sports-wise or
Yeah.
whatever. But you can take the time then just to jot
Yeah.
that note to them, so that it's a reminder to them,
Right.
A, you're thinking of them,
Yes.
B, you're in the business.
Right.
And so I just think it's powerful. I mean, there's so many things.
And don't overthink it. We tend to overthink things a lot in what we do, and when you overthink it, you're not going to do it. So it doesn't have to be a book. It can be 2-3 sentences. Thank you so much. Enjoyed meeting you. Thank you for what you did. Whatever. And that's really all it takes. It doesn't need to be a really long note. So don't feel like you need to have this great, fabulous thing to say. It can just be something really simple. So that's something to think of as well. Other things we wanted to share about it. You had other reasons on your list?
Well, here's a couple things, and I'm just going to read these. So when you receive a referral,
Yes.
obviously it's always nice to send a written thank you note.
And I always like to, I'll add on to that too, whenever you do receive a referral, even if you don't get the person's contact information, I do this when I get a Facebook mention in groups. I'm in a group where I'll frequently get tagged, someone's looking for a realtor. I always send a thank you note, and I always send a little gift card in the thank you note, because you're rewarding the behavior and you're kind of training the behavior. So when you do that, when you take that minute to send that note, it lets that person know, gosh, this is really important to her, and it helps them to do it again, and you want them to do it again.
throughout the transaction. So I think it's good. We oftentimes think that we write a note, thank you at the beginning of the transaction,
Right.
value the fact that you've chosen me to assist you with your new home.
Yes.
And then at the end, people kind of expect a thank you, maybe a little bit. But what about during the transaction?
Right.
So you can write a little note and say, hey, was just thinking of you. We're getting close for settlement. So excited. I know you're planning for that move. Or something about, I was out shopping the other day and saw this in your favorite color that you mentioned. Just a little something for the client to know that you're still thinking about them
Right.
during the transaction.
Right.
That it's not just all
That it's not just a transaction.
business, and you've kind of just forgotten about them because everybody's
Right.
going through the steps of the transaction, but you're
Right.
still thinking with that personal touch.
I love that.
So I like that too. To reconnect with people, and you said that I happen to be in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
or I saw this mentioned on Facebook the other day,
Yeah.
and you were thinking of them. That's huge because we get so busy.
Yeah.
That oftentimes it's not that we don't care about people, but we don't have the chance to pick up the phone and call.
Right.
Or to me, email seems impersonal. Say, hey, I was thinking of you, but
Yeah.
a personal note real quick, again, huge difference.
Yes.
Brighten someone's day.
Yes.
We all struggle from time to time. Time to time, we have different things going on in our life. So just a note, when you notice somebody's struggling, jot them a quick note.
Yeah.
Thought about you today.
Yes.
Wishing that tomorrow's better for you.
Yes.
Or whatever that you want to write. That's just something simple, but that means everything to someone. That to know you care, that you're thinking about.
It does. I have, and I know other people who do this too, I have a box in my office that is full of notes that I have received. So, it's nice to go back when you're having a bad day. There's a woman that I follow that she has a basket on her desk that she keeps the notes. And when you're having a rough afternoon, you need something, a little pick-me-up, grab that box, grab that basket, and reread those notes. And so to think that there's something that we can do that can help to make people feel good, that's good. We have
Two people are asking
questions. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have a couple questions. We have the same question twice. Buffini says, I think Karen Jane just posted it too, not to use branded note cards. So thoughts on that? I think a branded note card would be a note card that has maybe your business logo on it, or your brokerage's logo on it, or your company's logo on it. I do think that is not quite as personal. It just kind of looks maybe not as personal. I don't know that if that's all you have, I would still write the note.
Yeah,
So because the purpose behind the note is still going to be received. But I do think it's better to. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. In fact, I brought some samples. I had mentioned before, make sure that you comment if you haven't to be entered in our drawing, because everybody who watches this live is going to get entered into the drawing with My Heartbeats Online. Kelly just did a great series of real estate specific note cards. So we've got Happy Home Anniversary, I'm a marketer, tour guide, negotiator, dream maker, bargain hunter, solution finder, project manager, community builder, real estate agent. So really cute cards. Just lots of really cute cards. So something like this is great, high quality, beautiful, specific to real estate. And these are also good. These just came from Amazon. This is a little packet that we put together for the team, but just simple blank note cards. I think branded ones are fine if that's what you have. I would say probably better not.
I would say better not to. I think if it's a personal note and it's coming from you, then it should just be personal.
Be personal.
I think most people know. If it's business related and, it's an initial meeting, you're thanking them for the business or looking forward to our appointment coming up this weekend, whatever, and you're sending that personal, I think business would be okay then.
Yeah.
But then I'd immediately try to change it to a personal.
Yeah. One of the things that we talked about in the team meeting this morning is we talked about whether or not you include your business card. I always include my business card, partly because I just have this strange fear that people won't remember who I am. So I feel like if I put my card, then they're going to know. So I almost always put my business card, except if it's a birthday card or a get well, then it's not going to go in that. If it's an extremely personal note, then I'm not going to put that. But almost always I'll put my business card. We talked about at the meeting this morning, you can include a business card in your note and maybe include a PS. If you ever know of anyone that you've been such a great help to me, if there's anyone that I can help, please don't hesitate to give this card to them. That's a great way to include your card. You can get really inexpensive return address labels. We do ours through Vistaprint. You can get them when they have sales during the year, and you can get hundreds of them for hardly any money. And so that's a great way to, even if you don't feel comfortable including your business card in that note, the return address label will kind of speak for you, and so that's a good thing to do too.
We talked too about being organized, and that's the other thing. You know, you're going to think spur of the moment you want to write a note. So
Right.
carry notes in your car, have your
Yes.
stamps, have your envelopes, do a little, you know, whatever you need to have, a
Yep.
container in your car so you're ready to go.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in that restaurant and that server, you can go out the car,
Yes.
get the note card, jot the note real quick,
Yes.
you're done,
Yes.
it's over.
Yes.
Have them at home, put them in your kitchen, or wherever you're going to be able to grab a quick note card before you walk out the door in the morning, or if you
Yes.
get home in the evening and it's that last minute thought, you've got your notes, you're right there. So go buy stamps. Home Goods sells notes. I was
Yeah.
looking in there the other day and I picked up a bunch of note cards, or even Marshall's, places
Yeah,
like that.
any
You
place.
can go in and get cheap note cards that are really nice,
Yes.
quality note cards. So,
I like what Jackie's saying about being organized, and that's the key, I think, to all the prospecting, whether it's note cards or something else, is you need to kind of have a plan about your day. So I have a basket of note cards ready to go with stamps and return address labels on my desk at home. I have them in my drawer at the office. I have them in my briefcase, so if I'm out and about, then I can just grab one. If I know I'm going to be out, one of my kids had a dentist appointment last week, I threw my note cards in my purse, so I knew I could write my notes while I was there. So, you know, it helps to be prepared. One of the things that Buffini talked about when we were at the Success Store last week was he would have his assistant he wrote like, 5 or 3 personal notes a day, and he would have his assistant put them on his keyboard or by his phone every morning. So he wouldn't do anything else until it was done. So that's something that you can do too. You know, plan the night before for success. Throw them on your computer keyboard, and then it's there, and do that before anything else. So,
I'm trying to think what else
Yeah.
too. How many times have you had somebody call you after they received your note?
oh, many times. Often I'll get a call, a text, a Facebook message, how touched they were to get the note.
And I think that's important too, because that phone call comes in. So there's another opportunity to build that relationship. Why?
Right.
Because you sent a personal note.
That's right.
And you think about it. How many notes do you get in the mail each day, right? How many notes do you get a week that
Yeah.
are handwritten notes? People aren't doing it
Right.
because we're all busy.
Busy.
And it's like
Yes.
anything else, you know, I've been busy where I haven't got notes out, you
Right.
know. I don't know about you. You're so
Yeah.
organized, you always get notes out, but, you know, but it just makes a difference. And the other thing I think is that how it motivates me when I do something like that, my mindset also changes just because of the action of writing that note.
Yes.
There's just something about it that makes me a little more focused, a little bit more, I don't know, I don't want to say positive, but it just changes my mindset
Right.
so that, I don't know.
That's because you're showing gratitude. And so
Yeah.
whenever you're showing gratitude, it's going to
Yeah,
help to do
so
that.
it just kind of changes the way you feel on your day. It makes my day better.
Yeah, me too.
So,
So a couple little things. I think we're about ready to wrap up. Our goal was 15, 20 minutes, no more than 30, and I think we're right around there. So we've answered our question. Make sure you comment so that we can enter you in the drawing. We have a drawing for $40, so My Heart Beats online. I'm also going to post, Kelly gave us a 35% off code that's specific to us. It's good through April 22nd. So I'm going to post that in the comments at the end of the live broadcast. Then we're going to post it to the group, so you can find that there. I'll also post, Kelly did a great little book on why and how to write notes. You might recognize our real estate story that she talks about that. That was me in the book, so I'll put that in there. And I think that's about it. Anything else?
I can't really think of anything except I know it will change the way you feel about things.
Yeah.
It's a really good practice to get into. And, you know, when we're sitting here talking about it, it makes
Right.
me even feel more.
And now I need to go write my notes for today.
About doing it.
So, Jackie Fields Gladall with Atlantic Coast Mortgage. I have known you for 15 years.
Yeah.
So where can they find you?
Well, we're Atlantic Coast Mortgage, 1 Loudon in Ashburn, JackieFields.com. But, you know, we're around, so you can find me, that's for sure.
Okay.
And so thank you, Karen, for the
You're welcome.
opportunity to be with you. I have known Karen for many, many years, since you first got licensed,
15
too, and we've worked
years.
together.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
it's been a real privilege and a good friendship, too. So.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm Karen Cooper. If you have any questions, you are always welcome to message me on Facebook, or you can email me at karen@goplatinumgroup.com. We are a real estate team based in Northern Virginia, and so, of course, we always welcome referrals for that as well. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.